Imagine lying perfectly still in a dark void, completely paralyzed, just, waiting for a giant hand to pick you up and move you.
Sounds terrifying, honestly.
Right. But according to philosopher Perez Onika in his book 10 Years Late, Right on Time, that is exactly how most of us are actually living our daily lives. So welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is to figure out how to, well, stop waiting for that hand, master our environment, and actually prioritize our existence.
Yeah, the imagery Onika uses there is a chessboard. He says most people just exist as mere pieces.
Like lying perfectly motionless.
Exactly. And the ultimate goal of our existence is to transition from being that passive piece to the actual player or the creator of the game.
But you can't just jump into being the creator, right? Like living life on a conveyor belt versus actually steering the machine. I mean, how do
Right.
we actually wake up and do that?
Well, you can't master the game until you master yourself first. What's fascinating here is how he breaks that down. He talks about needing to understand your own reflections so perfectly that you can, like, predict your reactions before they even happen.
Hold on, though. Understanding your reflection sounds incredibly vague. It verges on that self-help cliche of just staring into a mirror and saying daily affirmations.
Oh, no, it's not about literal mirrors or affirmations. It's much deeper. He actually roots this self-mastery in the biological foundations of a child.
Wait, really? Like babies?
Yeah, exactly. Think about a child's core needs. You have exploration, feeding, sleep, and communication. Onika argues that managing these basic biological inputs is the actual root of self-mastery.
So if you are, I don't know, sleep deprived or skipping meals, you can't possibly predict your reaction.
Right, because you're failing at the biological baseline. If you know you always make poor reactive decisions when you're stressed and hungry at 5 p.m.
Which I definitely do.
Right, we all do. But predicting that reaction means you restructure your environment at, say, 3 p.m. to prevent the failure. Once you conquer that inner landscape, you can build systems where the environment works for you rather than against you.
That makes a lot of practical sense. But, okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Even if you have perfect self-control and systemize your biology, you can still fail if you don't know what to actually direct that control toward.
Yeah, the priority problem. To be a true creator, you have to know what actually matters.
Exactly. And he brings up the classic glass jar metaphor from chapter 11. You know the one, your life is the glass jar. You put in the golf balls for the crucial things like health, family, your passions.
And the pebbles for the important stuff, like your job or your house.
Right. And finally, the sand. The sand is all those trivial daily chores, like mowing the lawn.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, though, what's highly relevant is the psychological mechanism behind why we get it backwards. Like, why are human brains wired to pour the sand in first?
Oh, because the sand is easy. I mean, taking out the trash or clearing out your email inbox, it gives you this immediate little hit of dopamine.
Right, it feels like productivity.
Yes, but it leaves literally zero room in the jar for the golf balls, the deep, long-term fulfillment that actually takes sustained effort.
Precisely. If you let your daily routine be consumed by the trivial chores, you forfeit your role as the creator. You have to actively fight your brain's desire for those cheap dopamine hits and, force the golf balls into the jar first.
I do appreciate the twist Anika includes at the end of that metaphor, though. Even when the jar is completely packed with golf balls and pebbles and sand, the professor pours 2 beers straight into the mix.
Yeah, filling all those tiny gaps.
Exactly. Proving no matter how full life gets, there's always room for a couple of beers with a friend.
It's the human connection that grounds all this intense self-mastery.
Yeah.
But you have to be intentional about creating that space.
So for you listening, getting off the conveyor belt means actively choosing your golf balls over the sand.
Which really ties into one final provocative concept Onika introduces regarding financial peace.
Oh, right. Which he doesn't define as just hoarding massive wealth.
No, not at all. He describes it purely as a state of mind where you view money merely as a flowing tool, like a current to be directed rather than a dam to be built.
So it becomes just another element of the environment for you to master rather than, something that controls you.
Exactly. So we leave you to ponder this. If you could achieve that specific state of mind and stop letting financial anxiety act like a massive bucket of sand filling up your jar every single day.
How much more room would you have to actually step off the chessboard and create the life you want?
So much room.
Which brings us to Onika's specific final instruction. If your life is currently full of sand, you need to empty the jar and wash it clean.
Just dump it out, wash it clean, and put the golf balls in first.